Justin and myself have been watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies for the past couple weeks, getting ready for this one, and it's finally here. We watched the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, and we're ready for a review on it. I will say this real quick, though, before we get into this review. We're going to have a lot of spoilers in this movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it, then come back and watch this, because we're going to spoil the whole goddamn movie for you.
And it's an hour and 23 minutes long, and I think you're going to enjoy it. It's at least a fun watch. It's at least a fun, entertaining watch. It'll go by quick. I kind of love this movie. I'm almost to love more. I very, very, very much extremely like this movie, Ricky, because of Leatherface, played by Mark Burnham.
Sure.
He's a great Leatherface. I'll tell you what. He's badass. He's ferocious. He's smart. He has the best kills in the entire franchise. The most gory. That's what I want to talk about the most, Ricky. The fucking gory ass kills in this movie.
Sure.
They are fucking fantastic. If you love gore, you're going to love this movie. It's produced by Fede Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead remake, directed the Evil Dead remake, and that movie's gory as shit. And you're gonna get that same feeling with this movie. I loved it. It's not disgusting or gross as much as the original stuff, but it's just badass and like put your hands up in the damn air fucking type of gore.
Yeah, it's the most gore we've ever seen in any Texas Chainsaw Massacre, bar none. No movie even comes close. No. Maybe number 2 with some of the hammer scene. Maybe we're getting around that territory. No, but I don't even agree with myself right there, Justin. This is the most gory Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie ever. Now, is it even really a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie? I don't know. We'll get into that in a minute. But right now, we're focusing on the good shit. Anything else?
Yeah, there's actually a hammer death scene in this one that will kills the one in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. We have our character named Richter, one of our favorite characters. I actually really like Richter a lot.
Okay.
And this dude is doing everything he can to make sure he saves all the little teens and shit. He gets thrown down to the ground. And he takes a fucking what do you call those? Sledgehammer to his fucking head, and they show it 10 times. Boom, 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 and his head keeps caving in. And then there's the fucking bus scene.
Yeah, well okay. Before we get to the bus scene, real quick, the hammer scene, I think the hammer scene in the number 2 was a lot better, and it's more intense in the second one, just because he's not really like, wah bob. He's kind of just like barely hit. It's just more sadistic to me when someone's just barely hitting someone in the face over and over and over again with a hammer than caving their head in with a hammer. It's more scary to me. You're looking at me like I'm a complete fucking idiot.
And I think you are a complete fucking idiot, Ricky.
So if you don't understand what I'm saying, you might be the complete fucking idiot here.
Don't get angry.
Well, I'm just saying. It's okay. Call me a fucking idiot. I'm making sense over here.
Sometimes you look like an idiot. Sometimes you don't look like an idiot. I think you're an idiot. And hey,
that's fair.
It's subjective.
Yeah.
It's subjective.
Yeah, okay.
I understand what you're saying. Like, it's slowly
it's
doing it. Like,
menacing. Barely hitting him.
But it's Chop Top doing it. And I'm sorry, but Chop Top's a little over the top. And he's like, doing it, so sure. It takes away from it a little bit. Yeah. This motherfucker's just like, BAM!
Oh, yeah.
BAM!
He bashes the skull in. Listen, the kills in this movie are fantastic. There's not a single issue that you're going to get from myself, or I speak for Justin, I think, when I say this, or him. I mean, these kills are badass. Again, spoiler review, the first kill in the movie, Leatherface grabs this cop's hand, breaks it off, he's got bones sticking through his fucking hand, and then he grabs his hand, he stabs himself in the neck with his fucking hand.
Dude.
I've never seen a kill like that in a fucking movie, I don't think. That was a very original
that
kill.
Was a creative kill. Dude, all these kills, I think, were pretty fucking, not so much creative, just they went there with it. They went over the top with it, and that's what I fucking love about it. The best shit, Ricky. The fucking bus scene that you see in the trailer, that shit's extended out. And this motherfucker is using that chainsaw on all these stupid ass young fucking kids.
It's so badass.
It's so badass. I mean, I'm saying you're one girl you're thinking might have a chance to survive, starts crawling out the window, takes a chainsaw to her fucking waist and just cuts her in half. Her one half falls out of the bus, one half stays in, and his guts and fucking all kinds of shit's just fucking rolling out of her. I was like, holy shit. I mean, I don't get squeamish usually. I was like, ow, shit, but yeah, at the same time, it was fucking insane.
It was a bit much.
That bus scene, and you know what? I might be overselling it, sure, maybe. But to me personally, it's one of the best horror slasher scenes I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not even joking. It was just badass. I wasn't ready for that. I knew it was probably gonna be cool, but man, when my fucking emotions are like, ooh, but yeah, ooh, ee, like I never felt that before. Yeah, I don't think.
You got Leatherface just. People crowded to the back of the bus. He's just hacking and he's grabbing legs and tossing them out of the way. He's fucking destroying these people, and it's badass. It's badass. That might be my favorite scene in the movie. I do have another scene in the movie that I think is really fucking wonderful, and that's the sunflower scene, the sunflower field scene.
The cinematography in this movie is absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. The director did a great job.
Yeah, that's another thing that was really good about this movie. Just beautiful fucking shots, beautiful scenes. The cinematography is just on fucking point throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, David Blue Garcia is the director's name. And you can see why Fede Alvarez hired this guy. He's got some creative ass shots. The definitely sunflower scene, and also the scene where the bus is leaving in the rain, and then the camera's like behind Leatherface in this alley, and it swoops in, and you see the silhouette of Leatherface just looking out there.
Yeah.
That shit, I was like, damn, that's a great shot, bro.
Yeah,
Great job.
Dude. Like I said, there are some really good things about this movie. I think we're still kind of focusing on the good. Do you have any? Anything else
Some
to
of the
add?
characters. I think a Melody, which I'm probably on an island with this. Most people are gonna hate her. She starts off as like somebody you're like, man, fuck this bitch. But over time, she starts to redeem herself little by little by little. Some people, for me personally, she redeemed herself all the way. For most people, and not just Ricky, most people, she doesn't redeem herself at all. And we won't say what happens to her just yet, I don't think.
No, maybe not.
Yeah.
Let's skip on that.
And I will say this, the final girl, I was on her side. I was wanting her to live. You know, she has this tragic past where she was in a school shooting and survived by getting shot, and she's a little sketchy on guns and stuff. And then she eventually has to pick up a gun to protect herself, to save herself from getting fucking killed. And yeah, but she's forgettable to me at the end of the day.
Yeah, she's
I
very
did not
forgettable.
really remember her much at all. But Richter, little Chris Hemsworth, I call him Ricky. Did he not look like a little Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I can see that.
Mo Dumford's his fucking name. Remember that name. I think this guy's going places, Ricky.
What's his name?
Mo Dumford.
Mo Dumford.
That's a great name. Great name.
Sounds like a Simpsons character.
Sounds like he's not going to go anywhere. But I'll tell you what, I will remember him because of this movie right here. He's the guy that you think's going to be part of the family at first. And like he's just going to be this country redneck, fucking fuck everybody in the world type of dude. But no, he's one of the most sympathetic characters.
I thought maybe that he was going to be a member of the family at some point, which never happened. We'll get into that in a little bit. Anything else you liked about this movie? I got another thing I liked about this movie.
Go ahead.
Now, I don't like Sally Hardesty's character. I don't like the way she was written in this movie. I don't like anything about her character in this movie. I think her character slows the movie down. But I will say this, the fact that they killed her very fucking quickly.
Oh, that's
good. That's a good for me. That's a good for me. Because, like, when you're watching Halloween 2018 or something, you're like, okay, well, she's a low lady. If he would just kill her easily. And that's what fucking happens in this movie. Like, no fucking issue. Like, Sally, for sure, get out of my way. Chainsaw through the fucking chest. Hey, she got cut in half almost. She survived. Again, we'll get into the bad about this movie very soon.
Yeah, we will definitely touch on that. The last thing I want to say that's positive about this movie is it starts off a little slow maybe. I was entertained the whole time, but I can see why people get a little put off. But the last fucking hour of this movie, like the first 30 minutes or whatever, once Leatherface puts on his mask, holy shit, it just ramps it up, and it's fucking just hardcore brutal from that point on.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah, all the way to the very end. I don't know how you feel, but what do you think about there's no family in this movie. It's just Leatherface.
Oh, I didn't want to get to that yet. I did have one more thing I did like about the movie. I wanted to mention real quick.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Blow
blow your fucking load all over the place.
All right. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there is a post-credit scene in this movie. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll just tell you what it is real quick. It's not much. It's Leatherface walking back to the original house from number 1.
Yeah, I didn't catch that it was the original house, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. So he's going home. So it's kind of setting up number 2. He's going to be in the house. Maybe we'll get more of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel to the movie. But to harp on your point a little bit, there's no family in this movie.
No deranged, fucked up family.
And that absolutely kills it for me. That takes me out of this movie because I understand, like Justin said earlier, we've seen it 1,000 times. We've seen the dinner scene. We've seen the psychotic family in all these movies. But then I say, that's what these movies are. So without those scenes in these movies, they're not Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, in my opinion. This is just a random movie. You could have built this movie this way. A group of teens try to rebuild an old town, but a psychopath lives there. Same fucking movie. You didn't need to be Leatherface. There's nothing in this movie that says this is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre besides a chainsaw and Leatherface. That's it.
And Sally Hardesty.
And it wasn't even her.
And Texas. No, I will say this. I'm in between on the whole no family thing. I'm at a point where I would like to have seen a new ramped up version of modern, family type of shit like that. Gosh damn it, I'm all over the fucking places I'm at. I'm just so excited because the movie's good. But I will say this. I also appreciate that they didn't do what almost every single other Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie did by having this family in a dinner scene and all that. Don't do Texas Chainsaw 3D with it or Leatherface with it, switch it up. That didn't work at all. But I think it worked for this movie what they were going for. I'm fine with that. This is more of Leatherface is front and center. We've had that discussion before. Leatherface is rarely front and center in these movies. Like, he's rarely the one you go away with thinking, oh, he was the most entertaining one. But this one, it's all him, and I think this is so close to being the best Leatherface. I have to rewatch it, but it's close. So the family thing, I'm a little mixed on. I don't know. It could have been cool to see it, but then again, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, I understand that. Do I agree with it? Not even a little bit, but I do understand it.
Another thing, Ricky, is the character of Dante. So he's the one we're starting off the movie with. You're thinking, okay, this is going to be the guy that we're going to root for, you know. But he's a dick pretty much throughout the entire thing, where I'm like, you guys better not make this guy the fucking victim, make him into the hero and shit like that. No, they don't. They pretty much said, fuck, this guy is a fucking asshole. We are meant to root against this guy. That's why I'm a little bit on the in-between with him, because I hate his character so much, but I love that they fucking killed him.
Yeah, 10 minutes into this movie for me, I knew that I wanted to see all these people die. Like, I knew that. I'm watching the first 10 minutes, I was like, okay, these people fucking suck. Can't wait to watch them all die.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think it was meant to do that, too. I think I don't think we're not meant to root for these kids. Really, Leatherface is kind of the sympathetic one, because his orphanage woman, his caretaker, basically, is the old woman that you see in the trailer. She's been taking care of Leatherface this whole time. And she's this old lady. You could tell she has a bad heart and everything. She's probably on her way out. And Dante comes in with his girlfriend, and they tell her, like, hey...
Incorrect. Dante and Mel.
Dante and his girlfriend.
That's not his girlfriend.
Yeah. My bad. Why are they so, like... They are the ones that created the channel. Whatever. They're the reason why Leatherface pretty much becomes Leatherface. Because her aunt, or his orphanage... His orphanage... His caretaker.
It's confusing.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. His caretaker pretty much dies in the ambulance, okay? And that's when... Where was I going with that?
I have no idea, but I think I can...
So Leatherface is kind of he's the sympathetic one of this. He's kind of sympathetic because they kill his mom, his caretaker. And that's where he decides to start fucking killing everybody here. So Dante is kind of a fucking bad guy.
Hey, let me ask you this question, Justin.
Yeah.
If this is a direct sequel to the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, why the fuck is Leatherface in an orphanage?
I don't understand all that. That's an unanswerable question.
I've watched this movie twice now, and I still don't get it.
You still don't get it?
Yeah. I don't understand why he's in an orphanage.
Yeah.
I don't understand it at all. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe her name was Virginia, by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe Virginia found him walking down the street with blood all over him, and she's like, come with me, I like taking care of people. And then, like, there's a scene where right before she dies in the back of the ambulance, police van, whatever you want to call it, she looks up to him and says, remember what I taught you, and basically telling him, keep being a good boy. And then she dies, and of course he loses his rocker and fucking starts killing everyone. But I don't understand.
Because she was innocent. She was a victim, dude.
Yeah. But how is he living with her? I don't get it. And then later in the movie, when he decides, hey, I'm going to get my chainsaw back, start fucking people up with my chainsaw, he has to break down a wall to get to his chainsaw. So does she, like, take his chainsaw and build a wall around it? Or put it behind a wall, and then she tried to suppress his feelings.
This movie leaves a lot to your imagination of how we go from the original to this sequel, which retconned everything else. We have no idea how he got there. We have no idea why it's in an orphanage. We just it's left up to our imagination, and it doesn't earn it. It doesn't deserve our thought, our thinking, our brain to go into there. Yeah. I just went into it as like, we're going to see a badass Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, so I didn't put much thought in that, to be honest with you. Okay. I don't think it matters, really. I mean, but it really
matters to me, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a stupid fucking horror movie, So it's like, I'm not going to put too much thought into it.
I hate that. It's a stupid fucking horror movie, so who cares? Well, that's why we have stupid horror movies, because people have a thought process like that.
Yeah, and they clearly didn't have it planned out, because there's no answers to any of that stuff whatsoever. Yeah. So however you want it to go, Ricky, is how it's going to go in your own head.
Sure.
Sally Hardesty, she brings the movie down every time she shows up. I'm sorry. It feels like the studio got fucking involved and they saw the success of Halloween 2018 and they're like, man, we need to throw Sally Hardesty in there. I think that would make this movie really fucking successful and have her be like a Laurie Strode. Nobody ever thought of Sally from the original of being on the same level as a Laurie Strode.
Leatherface did not even remember her. So it's like, if he doesn't remember her, why the fuck do we give a fuck about it? And we don't. We really don't give a shit about what happened to Sally Hardesty after number 1. I think when you're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, and you see her in the hospital scene, you're like, okay, well,
she closure. Mental hospital.
Closure.
Makes sense.
Closure. I don't have to worry about Sally Hardesty anymore.
Well, they try to put her off as like she's this type of badass that's been a ranger for 40 years, Texas Ranger.
Well, they played her off that way in the trailers, but in the movie, she's scared. And you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time. She's way over her element. You can tell. She's literally has to keep looking at the picture to remind herself of why she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah, she says a Polaroid picture. Was that one of the pictures that the hitchhiker took?
I think so. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Definitely right where he was sitting. I think it might be the one. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I know.
That might be the best continuity we've had in this series in 20 years.
For sure. And that's why I'm okay with it not being why they did what they did with it. Regardless, Sally Hardesty, so we're thinking that she's gonna be the Laurie Strode and she's gonna take care of business at the end. And that's why I find the character even more pointless. Because she basically shows up and she becomes the dumbest character in the whole fucking movie. She literally finds Leatherface, goes up there. First off,
ample opportunity.
Yeah, first off, Ricky, she shows up in her cop car or whatever. What is it? But anyways, the girls are locked in the backseat. The two surviving members are locked in the backseat. She's like, no, you guys can't have the keys. You guys wait here because they're after you. So at that point, you're like, so she's baiting him to put their lives at risk? So she's a bad guy right there. So you're kind of saying a fuck you to Marilyn Burns, the original Sally Hardesty. It's kind of a disrespectful to that original character and actress because she becomes a villain in this movie and then she goes upstairs to try to kill Leatherface with a fucking gun and she's like, look at me. You're saying bullshit that you see in most of these fucking movies. And then she doesn't shoot when he does look at her because he doesn't remember her. She's like, oh, that's kind of disappointing.
Leatherface, I thought we had something between you and I.
Yeah,
but you don't remember me? Yeah. I've been doing nothing but thinking about you for 50 years.
Exactly, Ricky. And then, so they finally go outside and Leatherface is about ready to get the two girls. And she shows back up and she starts shooting them. Then Leatherface goes up to her and we get another badass kill. The chainsaw in her stomach rams it up almost all the way to her fucking neck. It's all the way through her body. So it's got spine. It looks like it directly hit the spine. And going all the way up. And then this bitch is fucking on the ground. You think she's dead? No, she saves the day almost, Ricky. Almost saves the day by somehow being all fucking sliced up, damn near torn in half. And fucking shooting Leatherface somehow with a fucking gun. And then she dies.
Which also brings me to another thing about this movie I wasn't really a fan of. Leatherface is no Michael Myers. Leatherface is no Jason Voorhees. He is merely but a man. And he got shot 5 or 6 times in this video. And he got a very nice uppercut with a chainsaw. Still survives. I wasn't a big fan of that. Don't fucking shoot Leatherface 6 times. Because he's not Michael Myers or Jason. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. Because I kind of care about this franchise now. I've seen all the movies now. I fucking like them. I'm invested now. And I didn't like that at all.
I like this franchise too. But to be fair, this franchise is all over the fucking place. So that shit doesn't bother me. You can make them supernatural now. And I'll be fucking fine with it, to be honest with you.
That's fair.
It's whatever. I tell you, my only other really bad, negative about this movie is it doesn't feel like a sequel to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It has the same problem as most of these sequels do. It doesn't have the same tone, the same feel or anything. There's no cannibalism. There's no family. There's no this, no that. And when you say that you're a sequel to the original, I'm pretty much saying fuck you to all the other movies. To me, that's a disrespect to some damn good fucking underrated movies that people need to see, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm sick and tired of it at this point.
Sure.
But other than that, Ricky, overall, I had a great fucking fascinating, fantastic time with this movie.
And I don't want you guys to think that I dislike this movie because I feel like I'm coming off that way. I do think it's a good movie. It's better than I thought it was going to be. I'm happy with the movie. But I have some major issues with it.
You have any other issues with it that you want to fucking rant about?
I mean, no. Yeah,
okay, we covered it all.
I think so. I can look at my notes here. I did write this down. The mask doesn't look like Virginia at all. And basically what I mean by that is he cuts Virginia, which is the orphan runner. What's that mean? You run orphans?
Damn, that's a good title for a movie. We could have like a fucking orphan leader.
Sidetracked.
Okay,
Talk about that later. So it's an old lady. It's a very old lady. He cuts her face off, puts it on his face. But the mask, and let me tell you this. I like the mask. The mask is badass. It looks good.
That's great. I love the mask.
But it ain't no fucking 85-year-old lady's face because think of it. She's already wrinkled. So if you cut her face off, that skin, it's just going to be it's just going to wrinkle up. It's just going to be like after you cut an old lady's face off, it's got to just contract into some little bitty mask that maybe fits over his nose or something. I didn't like that part about it. I did have that written down right here, though.
Yeah, you have that written down right there. That's a nitpick.
Yeah,
a lot of don't need to waste time on nitpicks. We don't know what it will be like. If I cut off your stupid fucking face right now and put it over fucking my fucking face, it's not going to look like you.
But Justin, if I'm an 80-year-old man...
Why are you getting serious about it?
It
really bothers you.
If I'm an 80-year-old man and you cut my face off, my face is going to shrivel into a little nothing piece of
Have you cut people's faces off before?
No.
Have you seen faces cut off people before?
But
have you seen anybody wear somebody else's face before?
No, but...
Okay. Shut the fuck up. I tell you what I have heard, though, people did bring this up to my attention, is how the fuck does it stay on his face?
Well, actually, I thought about this too, but there's a solution for it, and it's right there in plain sight. You can see him tuck it behind his ears. When he puts it on, you see it tuck it behind his ears.
That's why it's a little droopy then.
Yeah, because he just has it tucked behind his ears.
Damn, boy, you were so much smarter than everybody in the world. I'll tell you what. Can I end on this note, Ricky?
Yeah. Well, we got to give it ratings, and we got to do it quick.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll be real quick with it. So there was early screenings of this movie that came out, and you had all these other YouTubers that say that, well, they were reading these reviews from the early screenings. They said it was so woke, it was so ridiculous, anti this, anti that, and I just want to say right now, don't be afraid of that. It's not woke. There's characters in it that are woke, but the director is not taking any fucking sides in this movie at all. In fact, the woke people are kind of the fucking villains, give or take one or two. And the dude that you think is gonna be this, the pro-gun fucking hee-haw type of dude, he's the most sympathetic character in the fucking movie.
And he was heavily judged at the very beginning of the movie by all these kids.
Yeah. And I don't see how after watching this movie these people still stick to the fucking narrative that this is a woke movie and anti fucking fuck all these other pretty much people on the right. It's not saying that at all. They're not choosing a side. They make a hero out of this guy because the woke fucking woman that I'm the only one that likes at the end of the day, she judges him based on what he looks like, basically. And she's completely wrong because he's the one that tries to fucking save her and everybody else in this situation. So just don't be thrown off by all the fucking negative bullshit surrounding that bullshit. It's not a fucking woke movie.
Let's give our ratings for this. Let's get out of here. Let's wrap it up, Justin.
Okay, Ricky, I'm going to give this one a 7.1.
Okay.
7.1.
Yeah, go on. Elaborate.
Well, I was going to have it over Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. I need to give this movie more rewatches, and I feel like it could grow over time. But right now, I don't want to put it over Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, and that's all to do with Sally Hardesty. She is the only reason why I say this movie is... It just tempers it down quite a bit for me.
Yeah.
She just throws the movie off for me.
And that's fair.
Really unnecessary character.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna give this movie a 6.8. A little bit down below him. I do think he liked it a little more than me. Some of the issues I have with it are the reasons why it goes that low for me. I don't like the fact that I don't understand what happened between number one and this one. I don't like that he's in an orphanage. I don't understand it. I can't wrap my head around why he would be there. And that really takes it from like in the 7s down to a 6 for me. And then of course I have all my nitpicks here that you didn't even really let me get to some of these. But now that I'm reading them back, I see why.
Ricky,
but
can I maybe help you out a little bit with that?
Sure.
What happened in between?
Sure.
I will say that, why? Sure, but how they get Leatherface to become Leatherface again, I think was very well done. Because she dies, and that's why he becomes who he becomes again. That's why all the killings start happening. So I like how they did that part of it.
But why is he in the fucking orphanage?
Exactly, yeah. I agree with all that. It's a plot hole for sure, because they don't do anything to explain it.
No, they don't. They do a little bit. They show a picture on the wall with a bunch of orphans, and then he's like a very tall kid in the back. Yeah. But then that's when I start thinking, did she bring this psychopath into her orphanage? With all these kids? It's driving me insane! How is he there?
She found him. I don't know, Ricky. It is strange. I agree with you. Again, it's another movie that's trying to put Leatherface as a sympathetic villain, and you're going to be on board with that or you're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
You're kind of getting me pissed off about it, Ricky. I feel like I should fucking put a lot of work in this movie. Doesn't earn it. It doesn't earn it. It just doesn't earn it. Just let it go. Because you're driving me fucking crazy. Because I'm trying to piece together everything like Leatherface does the fucking face mask.
See?
I just can't do it. And now I'm fucking all lost and shit, Ricky. I just can't do it.
I'm going to say this before you blow your top real quick. If you have any thoughts on the movie, let us know in the comments section. We're always going to be down there to tell you you're wrong or agree with you. You haven't said anything yet, so I don't know. Also, don't forget to like the video because it really does help the YouTube algorithm stuff. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future videos because there's going to be a ton of them. Now you can kind of fly off the handle and give us a last little minute of comedy before the video ends. Go ahead.
I'm gonna slice your fucking face off and put it